I have to change to borderless and then rank to full screen. So I'm gonna have a new one, and it's gonna be nice. And it's gonna be all Firebeddy and Pog. So I'm super excited to open this bad boy. So we're doing that later on in the stream. Belton. Belt sword. Can go kind of any direction from here, but lean a little bit towards AD because sword is AD. And we got a pair of AD units. Getting Legionnaire. Legionnaire synergizes with Legionnaire. Get the synergy. Belt. Here. Defensive stuff. AP stuff. Defensive stuff. AP stuff. Bow. Yasuo / AD. This looks like a pretty good lobby for AD. There's a couple of people with rods and stuff like that. Deathblade. Aphelios game. I'm not good at Aphelios. Deathblade might mean Aphelios game, and can also mean Nocturne, so we pick up Assassin for sure. Deathblade, best in slot item on Nocturne, and Aphelios. And that's about it in the game, and it's 2 swords. Provides a lot of AD. So that might be something we look at trying to give it a shot. Reforge. Reforge something. I don't mind a Deathblade. Would I have... That's going in. We strong. We strong. We want that tanking the brunt of it so that it proxies Dawnbringer and starts healing and gets bonus damage. Then we want this guy to just shred everything down. We could slam the Deathblade if we think we need to win the next fight, but we want to wait to see what the fight is to see if we need to actually slam it or not. But we definitely want to try and win. We want this to tank something that's kind of isolated in a corner somewhere. Both seem pretty even. Yeah, we should slaughter this guy without the Deathblade. We got 2 2-stars. He has 0 2-stars. He does have a Lee Sin, which is one of the better 3-cost units in the game, especially early on. But we should be cool. Aatrox with his self-sustaining is really strong in early fights as a 2-star. And then we buy this. That gives us a little bit of information. We get to see this box phase. The box phase is phases where you get to check out an item. So maybe it's an item that allows us to do something instead of slamming a Deathblade. Sunfire could leave us open to be more flexible. But it's looking like Deathblade. We can reforge the Shadow Vest into a didn't Shadow item. Shadow Giant Slayer is good late game, but bad now. It's good for Aphelios. With gloves, it's very strong. Good. More Aphelios. It looks like it's Deathblade. So we want to be drafting AD stuff. I mean, we're strong. 3 2-stars. But yeah. Gotta start picking up like Nightbringers and 4 Rangers and trying to go in that direction a little bit. If Shadow Armor turned into Belt or Sword, that would have been sick. Because then we'd have Nocturne open as well, but none of these really matter. The Brawlers, I guess, we take. We'll probably try to pre-level. If I double level, I could add in a Brawler. We never need this, this, or this. But we could double level, put in Set, try and preserve this win streak. Who's strong? Yasuo with Hurricane? Probably beat him, honestly. That guy might be... Yeah, let's just do it. We're just pretty much guaranteeing to keep our streak going here. So we're losing 1 gold of interest, but we're gaining it back by guaranteeing that we win. I was afraid that this guy might beat us, so that's why I did it. He was like the only one in the lobby, and of course that's the guy we play. Isn't that always how it goes? You always play whoever you're most afraid of. The game knows your fear, you know? It sniffs it out. So I think that's going to be the difference there. That extra unit allows us to win this very comfortably. We might have won without the extra unit, but it would have been stressful. I don't need that kind of stress in my life. We want gloves. Gloves to make Shadow less Whisper. The gloves are gone. Warmogs is probably fine. Armor for Sunfire is fine. Warmog scales better into the late game. Sunfire is better for win streaking. I'm trying to win streak right now, so I'm going to slam Sunfire. So if I wasn't going for... you know, this big win streak here, I would have taken the other item. Because I think Warmogs is a better item overall. But Sunfire Cape in the early stages really well. It does a percent-based damage. So the longer the fights go on, the more useful it is. The fights in the early game tend to go on for a pretty long time compared to the fights at the later stages. This item's good in the beginning and falls off in value as the game goes on. You also, every time in your comp, you either want a Sunfire or a Morello's or a Heimerdinger or a Pantheon or any of the other healing reduction sources, so that you can make other teams' sources of healing a little bit worse. So there's a couple of units that do it and a couple of items that do it. Sunfire is one of the items that do it. It's a pretty good thing to have around. So hopefully this allows us to continue winning, keep this streak going, keep making money. And we want to pick this up. So we're getting rid of this. Because that's a redeemed unit to go with our Aatrox. But we're pretty strong. We haven't versed that guy. We haven't versed this guy or this guy, right? Oh, we did verse this guy. He was just the first guy we played, so we're more likely to play against this guy. So we should leave Kha'Zix where he's at. Maybe put this guy here. Put this down a little bit. This gets engaged upon first. Diana. That's an early Diana. Diana's pretty strong early game. Late game, also pretty strong, but pretty terrifying early game. It's going to get its ult off very consistently. And it's got a mean ult. But it looks like we're fine. We want to eventually go Aphelios, probably, but we'll pick up the Rangers for him later. We're not going to hold on to this Vayne at the cost of interest. Diamond for the first time yesterday. Congrats, Candleguard. That's pretty pog, dude. I'm happy for you. Yeah, it took me a few days to get back into it and make it back to Diamond, too. I'm going to be honest with you. I got stuck at Platinum for a while. But I feel like I'm getting the hang of it now. I'm starting to make some moves. But yeah, it's a fun game. It's very easy to get stuck at spots, for sure. It's a very hard game. I'm still bad at a lot of the little stuff. Alien or Redeemed? Redeemed? We want Nightbringer with Aphelios, usually. So you want Belt plus Spatula, with one of them being Shadow. Typically, we're going to be looking and trying to how do we make our board stronger after this level. On 3-2, we're going to level up, so we could level up now to try and preserve our win streak. Yeah, we should. Just going to add another Brawler. We could make the Redeemed and add in the Redeemed unit. That might have been the move. Slamming. You can make Hurricane. A reasonable slam. I think it's better. I put it on too late though, so this costs us a little bit in this fight, but it helps the Deathblade scale up really well. We can take Draconic. Draconic's a way to move into Aphelios. Coven or Spellweaver, neither of those particularly good for us. We don't want Rageblade on Aphelios because we want to play 4 Rangers because it's the better way to play him. Shadow Blue doesn't go on too much. We already have this, so we don't need Morellos, so it's probably blue. Nightbringers are eventually good with Aphelios. I need this in play. We're losing Dawn instead of... Yeah. We want to have Legionnaires so that this guy can heal, because he's my most important unit. You can tell because he's got all the items on him. So the guy with all the items on him, we want him to have lots of success. We don't need to 3-star him. Don't need Brawler anymore. That's a pair. No, it's not a pair. So we can get rid of that. We're not doing Redeemed. We have Set in play. We should probably keep him. I have to get rid of this. And this. We want to try and keep the Nightbringers if we can, because they're going to be eventually really good for the Aphelios comp. So now we get little eggs from this Draconic, which allows us to get a little bit of extra money, which can hopefully allow us to push to level 8, where we can find the units required for the comp a little bit faster. Can I be your friend? Yo, bro. Yeah, we can be homies, just don't expect a lot. I'm usually pretty scatterbrained and disorganized. But yeah, we're more like a parasocial relationship. But that can be friends too, right? And we'll sell this to make it to 40. It's not going to be something that we use for a really long time. There's the Aphelios himself. With a rod on him, so we could find a bow and put Rageblade on him. He's usually not the best unit get early to carry. Kinda need him 2-starred, to be honest with you. We had another tier, we could get Shadow Blue, which is really strong. I'll just take the Aphelios. Building around Aphelios, getting given Aphelios, I'll take Aphelios. Shadow Zeke better than Rageblade? I believe it. Shadow Zeke's is broken. Shadow Zeke's is like Rageblade, but it doesn't take 5 seconds to activate, it just starts active. And we're making the switch. Then we don't need this anymore. We're looking for the 4th Ranger now. We still want this in for now for the Nightbringer. But eventually we want to find the 5th Ranger. Spellweaver, AP Aphelios. Yeah, Shadow Zeke's is pretty much almost always better than Rageblade. Shadow Zeke's just one of the best items in the game. so good. Especially this patch. This patch has got so many amazing holders with how good Forgotten is. I already have the set upgraded. What's my next thing? I'm trying to go 4 Ranger. I'm trying to get a Nightbringer related frontline in. We have 4 Ranger. Do we drop Draconic now? We 2-starred some of the Draconic stuff though. But we could drop Draconic potentially. 4 Ranger, 2 Brawler, and then we could put Draconic in at the end. What does the egg do? The egg hatches into a Draconic unit. The 4 Rangers is massive. 180% attack speed bonus every 4 seconds. So every 4 seconds, he just goes... Bah, 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 bah. We are filthy rich. We're at level 7, just still banking 50. People are at level 6, only banking 40 here. We're a whole level ahead of people. Do we need to roll? We probably should try and do something better than this front line. No, we want to fast 8. Let's fast 8. I think I just try and fast 8 from this spot. Fast 8, fast 8, fast 8. So that we can potentially hit, what's it called? Well, Aphelios 2 gets a lot more likely, but we could potentially hit Kindred, which is a fantastic unit to add. But we're leveling. And I gotta figure out what I want to do with all these items. We definitely don't need another Sunfire. If we get a Garen, we could use Dawnbringer Emblem pretty well. We can never use Coven. We could use Ironclad if we get a Rel. There's a lot of like potential stuff we could use, but nothing that's like super good to slam right now. It's gonna make too much of a difference. I'm gonna lose these next 2 fights, get a good carousel pick, then level up. Carousel pick, we could get another Spatula, which would be really nice. We want a bow here to make this Rage Blade. Rage Blade's not great with 4 Rangers, but I mean, we'll take it. He had a rod already on him, so what are you gonna do, right? Anything else we're missing before I just do it? Bramble? Dual Gauntlet? Yeah, and we want regular Rage Blade so he doesn't kill himself. I mean, it's not the worst Aphelios items. Definitely not the best. Pretty middle of the road, I'd say. This guy here to just kind of spread things out a little bit. Maybe draw some aggro. Continuing on with the plan. Leveling up to 8 soon. Bloodthirster, Last Whisper, Rageblade. That's a pretty good combination. Generally, you want a damage item, a sustain item, and an attack speed item. So any combination of that can work out pretty well. Alright, 1 more loss, then we level up. You definitely want Deathblade, I'd say. I'd say Deathblade is the best one. Deathblade's the best attack item. The best sustain item is BT. Then the best attack speed item is Shadow Zeke's. But because of the Ranger buff with the 180% attack speed, you don't need to build attack speed on him. So I think the best would probably be Deathblade plus Shadow Last Whisper plus BT. I think that's best in slot. If you have 4 Ranger. If you only have 2 Ranger, then you're going to need an attack speed item instead. So it changes depending on what units you have in your composition. But we have 4 Ranger already, and we're kind of building around it. Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe you're right. Maybe we should actually drop 2 Rangers here. Because we have the Rage Blade and the Hurricane, which are both attack speed related. We might find more success with just more Nightbringers. No Spatula. Have the Shadow Blue Rise I get to put in, which is always really nice. I'm looking to try and get like Shadow Blue Rise with GA. I mean, I could play Teemo too, potentially. And so darkness I become. I don't need these anymore. We could put this in. I skipped whatchamacallit, but I think that's fine. I'm trying to think what I want this to exactly look like. I don't have a good picture in my mind just yet. I want like Rel and stuff. One casted Teemo, but still one cast is pretty good. Slows them down a lot. We definitely need to get some Nightbringers in there. We don't have any of those. No Lee Sins or Morganas. There's Morganas. Oh, whoops. That one had 2 in it. I could have got the Nash there. I messed up. Okay. These brawlers have to get replaced by 2-star Nightbringers at some point. That has to go in over the Teemo. That's in. Maybe we're dropping 2 Rangers for now. This goes in over one of these. Then that allows us to do this. Those are my extra Rangers. These are my Nightbringers. Yeah, blue buff rise. Okay. We're at a reasonable health total. We need to get in these Nightbringers. This is gone, this is gone, this is going in, this is going in. Oh, that's already in. That's going in. Alright, so we're closer to something real, but we're still kind of far away at the moment. Ironclad goes you. All of these are pairs over here. No Kindred yet. No Aphelios too. I don't. That do I? I don't care about Taric. Screw Taric. It's a better Nightbringer than Yasuo. The armor shred's really relevant, I'd say. More tank stuff up there. So yeah, I think this is probably the way we want to build it for the most part. We might still go 4 Ranger at the end, but since we have the Rage Blade, 2 Rangers seems to be sufficient for the attack speed increase. So more utility units is good. And also we didn't 2-star any of the Rangers, so screw them. If they don't want to show up, they're not going in the camp. Oh, I used the spatula already. You don't always get items here, but you sometimes get items here. And I got items here and I slammed mine. I would have been able to make another Rage Blade for Ash, or I would have been slammed not this, I could have been Shadow Spatula. Would have been sick. We might be able to get spatula here, but I guess since we don't have any combined items, this is what we take. We just take a spatula and hope to get it. Am I rolling? We can't get very powerful very easily, but I guess we're just rolling to 0 anyway. I need to scout more. Scouting would have been probably a better use of my time there than rolling, to be honest with you. Lulu, you got me? Stop this guy. Thank you. Dude, that Mordekaiser's so thick. We didn't even touch it. God dang. The Mordekaiser's like the Aphelios shredder. That's big. Come on. Shoot him! The Deathblade is ramped up! As he participates in more takedowns, the Deathblade gets faster. So, we want to avoid AoE, but we also want to cluster so everything attacks the same thing so that you can get Deathblade procs going as soon as possible. So it's a really weird and awkward position you have to balance between. There are no spatulas. We're looking for more Rise items. We're looking for Morellos for Rise, for sure. Or Archangels, but this one's not a better unit, so I'll take it. Is the Sunfire stops the healing, right? Which is kind of nice, but if this unit dies, or if this unit's not in the area where the healing needs to happen, we need some other more consistent way to stop healing. Sunfire is good in the early game, stops the healing, usually applies to most of the units in the battlefield. Late game, it's applying to a very small range of the battlefield and not being very impactful. So we use that to get the win streak to get to where we're at, but now we need actual, real anti-healing. So this Rise with the anti-healing is going to be super nice for that. Alright, let's find this, this Rel. That's our potential out here, is this. We're rolling this for the Rel, yeah. We're not doing 4 Ranger because we got the Rage Blade, and Aphelios 3 is our potential win condition that we're going to go for. He's swapping, so we already played him. We played him 2 rounds ago, right? I don't think I care. I wanted to put the Diana over here, though. This Katarina got lost, that's good. Yeah, Aphelios not in the corner, so avoiding that Thresh hook. Neither of us really backlined assassined each other, so we're both kind of fighting front to back. Front to back is the strongest for us. So our Diana and our backline stuff doesn't need to necessarily hit. We just need to make sure that we don't get hit by their stuff. If we don't get hit by their backline assassin stuff, then we're good. And if we're on the, we want to be on the opposite side of big ass Mordekaisers. So that guy's nuts. But any of the other Mordekaisers are pretty fine. Just that one's really big. We want to be on the same side as Threshes, possible for the most part. I think we're pretty good here. Where'd that Karma go? We want to try and one of these. Get on that Karma. I missed the Karma. Hopefully our front line holds long enough that the A-bomb doesn't crash us. Because if the A-bomb crashes us, that's a lost fight. But we can only go through 2 units. So, doesn't crash into our corner, so we're good. Aphelios still up. It's clean. Top 4. We're gaining points. After this, we roll down to try and find 3 more Aphelioses. We hit Aphelios 3-star. That's game over for them. We don't care about this damage type. We don't do magic damage, so reforging that. There we go, tank item, fantastic. You love to see it. Alright, find Aphelioses. We pick up all the 4 costs as we roll to take them out of the pool. Injured too as well would be really good. Uh-oh. Yeah, I always roll too much and forget about the positioning. Oh no. I'm so vulnerable to all of his stuff. The CC though? The Kindred? The Kindred saves me? Alright, we giga lucked out on the order of the ability casts there. I did not get punished for my no scout. You love to see it if you're a Firebat fan, but if you're on the other team, that's upsetting. Alright, so we take this. Oh. It's over. Where's it, Draven? Alright. Be a Draven. That should be GG. Oh, it's the Mord! Got popped up in range of the Mord, maybe. Holy god, Mordekaiser counters Aphelios. Ah, he's gone. That's pretty good. So yeah, I didn't really want to go Aphelios because it's a pretty narrow path. If you don't hit, you can't really pivot to many other things. So it's dangerous to try and go. It also requires you to have a really strong opening so you can fast 8. So the things that made this possible, right? Don't go out there in your later game and start trying to jam Aphelios right away. You gotta know what made this possible. So what made this possible was I had an early 2-star Aatrox, I had an early 2-star Gragas, and I had an early 2-star Kha'Zix with the Deathblade. So that's what made this possible. Alright, now I'm trying to go level 8, put Ivern in. It works so much better with the RFC. Now she's not wandering up here, getting blown up. Alright, see? You learn new things, right? If you're gonna build Lulu carry, always prioritize the RFC.